Here's a question. How often do you encourage your team to think outside the box, experiment with new ideas, or take calculated risks? In a world that's constantly changing, innovation isn't just a nice to have, it's a necessity for survival and growth. But fostering innovation isn't just about having great ideas, it's about creating an environment where creativity thrives. It's about building a culture where people feel empowered to experiment, fail, learn, and succeed. In this talk, I'm going to share how you, as a leader, can foster a culture of innovation by encouraging creative problem solving, providing the right resources, and celebrating your team's ideas. Let's dive in and unlock your team's full potential. I want to start with a quick story. A few years ago, I worked with a team that was incredibly talented but stuck in their ways. Every challenge was approached the same way, and creativity seemed stifled. Then, one day, a team member suggested a bold idea, something unconventional. At first, there was resistance, but we decided to give it a shot. That one idea not only solved the problem, but sparked a wave of creativity across the team. Why? Because we made space for experimentation and celebrated the process. In this talk, we'll explore how to encourage creative problem solving, provide resources for innovation, and recognize and celebrate your team's creative efforts. By the end, you'll have practical steps to create an environment where innovation thrives. Let's start with creative problem solving. Innovation begins when people feel empowered to approach challenges in new ways. As leaders, we often default to tried and true methods, but real growth happens when we challenge the status quo. To foster creative problem solving, you need to create a safe space for experimentation. Here's how. 1. Ask open-ended questions instead of saying, "How can we fix this?" Try, "What are 3 new ways we could approach this challenge?" This encourages diverse thinking. 2. Encourage brainstorming sessions. In these sessions, make it clear that there are no bad ideas. Quantity over quality is the goal initially, and refinement can come later. 3. Reframe failure as learning. When a team member's experiment doesn't work out, ask, "What did we learn from this?" instead of focusing on the failure itself. The more you encourage your team to think creatively, the more they'll approach problems with innovation instead of hesitation. Next, let's talk about resources. Innovation doesn't happen in a vacuum. It requires time, tools, and support. First, make sure your team has dedicated time to innovate. When people are bogged down with routine tasks, there's little mental space for creativity. Consider setting aside innovation hours, where the sole focus is brainstorming, experimenting, or learning new skills. Second, invest in tools and technologies that support creative thinking. Collaborative platforms like Miro or tools like design thinking software can help your team visualize and develop their ideas. Finally, offer learning opportunities. Encourage your team to attend workshops, enroll in courses, or participate in hackathons. The more exposure they have to new ideas and methods, the more creative solutions they'll bring back to your organization. Remember, when you invest in resources for innovation, you're not just supporting your team, you're setting your organization up for long-term success. The third piece of fostering a culture of innovation is recognition. If your team feels their creative efforts are overlooked or undervalued, they'll be less likely to innovate in the future. Start by celebrating ideas, even if they're not implemented. For example, you could have a monthly innovation spotlight to showcase creative ideas or experiments. Recognizing effort reinforces the value of creativity, regardless of the outcome. When an idea leads to success, make a big deal out of it. Share the story in team meetings, send out a company wide email, or even reward the person or team with a small token of appreciation. Here's an important point: recognize collaboration, not just individual efforts. Innovation often happens when people work together, so highlight teamwork whenever possible. By celebrating creativity, you're signaling to your team that their ideas matter, and that's a powerful motivator. So, why is fostering a culture of innovation so critical? Because it keeps your organization adaptable, competitive, and future focused. When your team feels empowered to innovate, they're not just solving today's problems, they're anticipating tomorrow's opportunities. They're more engaged, more motivated, and more invested in your shared success. And here's the ripple effect. When your organization is known for innovation, it attracts top talent, builds stronger client relationships, and sets the standard for excellence in your industry. Innovation isn't just a one-time effort, it's a culture. And as a leader, you have the power to create that culture. Now it's your turn. Think about one step you can take to foster innovation in your team. Maybe it's scheduling a brainstorming session, providing a new tool, or celebrating a recent creative effort. I'd love to hear from you. What's one way you plan to encourage innovation in your team? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if this talk inspired you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with other leaders. Remember, fostering a culture of innovation isn't just about having big ideas. It's about creating an environment where everyone feels empowered to think creatively and take risks. In closing, leadership isn't about having all the answers. It's about inspiring your team to find them. By fostering a culture of innovation, you're not just solving problems, you're creating possibilities. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more great content. See you in the next one.